I got to kick this thing off. Can I kick it off? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ladies and gentlemen, listen.
Hi, I'm Marika Moore, and if you want to get all up in my business, you should check out my new book, Unsolicited Marriage Advice, where I provide an analysis of the best marriage advice that I've received over the past 16 years or so. So head on over to Amazon and buy it now.
Conversate with Us Radio presents the Man Listen Show. We are the blackest radio show on the internet. We bring you our opinion on topics that affect the black community in an effort to enlighten, enrich, and empower every brother and sister that falls under the sound of our voice. We operate on a no-hating frequency, so be prepared for us to keep it 100% real and 100% black all the time. Please follow the show on Facebook, Instagram, and X at Man Listen Show. You can go to the link in our bio on Instagram. You can buy our merchandise. You can buy our books, and you can go to our Cash App, donate to the show, and make sure you just tell everybody about the show, the blackest radio show on the internet, the Man Listen Show. I'm your host, Mark B. Let's bring the crew in. All right, just me and Lab today. No C, no Erika. Shout out to them. But man, I hate to date the show, bro, but we are, let's see, what? What's
5
election
days.
5 days?
Yep.
5 days from elections. You know, Vice President Kamala Harris running against Trump. I ain't gonna call him President Trump or former President Trump. She's running against Trump. And man, this is a lot in the news, bro. You know, early voting has started. I already voted, man.
I did too. Yeah.
I'm gonna be out of town on election day. So I went ahead. I went on day one down here in Texas and got my early voting on, and the lines were packed, man. I think historically they say that early voting tends to go towards the Democrats. And the neighborhood that I was in, you would think that it was more liberal, but I live in Texas. So it doesn't really matter because, you know, you may have those liberal pockets, you know, like Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, whatever, possibly El Paso. I don't think Austin is liberal, but then you got, it might be. I don't know.
I don't know either.
You never know about Austin, but
Yeah.
then you just got the rest of the state. This is just like a sea of red. So Texas, I think eventually may be one of those states. I don't know. We'll be around to see it, but you know, as long as the Hispanics keep coming in, and it's not the Hispanics that come in, but it's when they had them kids, and them kids grow up and they can vote. But you know, we've always said in the past that, you know, the Latino vote, that's unpredictable because a lot of them go for Trump or go for the Republicans, or they don't vote. And you know, a lot of them had egg on their face, you know, just last week because Trump had a rally in Madison Square Garden and had a comedian up there, and he was clowning Puerto Rico, called it what a trash island or a big
Garbage, something.
Garbage island in the ocean or something like that. And you know, was making jokes about Hispanics. And you know, the thing that I've always said, whenever you're dealing with a white person and they'll make jokes about another race, they'll make jokes about black people too.
That wasn't only him. And he made a joke about black people too. Yeah.
They're just like black people too. So I never laugh and joke and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because it didn't stop there.
Right.
Talking about the black dude that was in the audience, and yeah, man, we carved watermelons together.
Right.
And just to me, I never understood how you could be a black Trumper. I mean, I guess if you are in the 1% of black people, because we know the 1% of black people is not the same as 1% of white people. Right. But like you in the 1-3% of black people, maybe the tax incentives or whatever will help you. But I've never understood how anybody who is non-white could support that dude. And a lot of people had to, like, you know, really have a they got they N-word and whatever word for you say for Hispanics wake up call at that rally.
Right.
The one dude, he wasn't Daddy Yankee, but it was some dude, some reggaeton artist. It was Nicky something. I don't even know his name. Forget him. But he got up there, and his name was Nicky something. So Trump thought he was a chick. Then he got up there, he was like, "Oh, oh, and it was a dude.
I didn't see that part.
Nah, yeah, it's this
This
guy.
was
His
at
name
the
is
Madison
Nicky.
Square Garden rally.
I don't think it was a Madison Square
Oh, okay,
Garden
okay,
rally, but
okay,
this
okay,
happened though.
okay.
His name is and I can look it up, man, but I'll find it, when you start talking. But his name is Nicky something, and Trump introduced him. It's clear Trump don't know the guy, right? He was just
Obviously,
bringing him
yeah.
on as an endorsement, and when he brought him on, he was like, "Oh, oh, okay." And then they made these comments about Puerto Rico, and dude had to, he was like, "I gotta walk back my endorsement." Um, I don't know, man. Polls say 72% of black men are voting for Trump.
How many?
There's going to be higher than 72% of black men. That's how the polls are saying. 72% of black men are
Oh, hold on.
voting for Kamala. Kamala, not Kamala. Voted for Kamala. I said Trump.
Oh, you said
Glad you
I was
caught it.
like, what?
No, 72%. 72% are voting for Kamala. Which I mean, I would like to see that higher.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't think that's going to make a difference on whether she wins or not. What you think?
No, I don't think that's going to make a difference in whether she wins either. 72 seems kind of, I mean, I that seems kind of low compared to even in 2016, 2020. I think the most he had was 18%. So that's like a whole additional 10% that's swinging his way. That seems a little far-fetched to me, but who knows? This whole election cycle kind of has me baffled because I'm I don't know what to make of everything because you have a lot of people saying, and again, I'm in North Carolina, so we have a lot of advertisements constantly, and there's a lot of ads. I'm a Republican, I can't vote for Trump, or I'm a Republican, I can't. And this other lady, I voted Democrat, and I just can't vote for. So there's a lot of posturing, but when the rubber meets the road, we'll see when they're in that stall. You know
Yeah.
what they actually truly do. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt and say that they're going to do what they say they're going to do publicly, but you really never know. So it's kind of, to me, it's kind of, I don't know. I don't know what to expect
I
for
think
real.
all of us are scared, man, because you said it several times on the show. And the guy's name is Nicky Jam. His name is Nicky Jam. And he's like this
Oh
little,
no, I think I did see that dude. Who's somebody, I
yeah.
was like, who is this dude?
He's just
I
like
think I
he's
did
like a
see
little
that.
fat Puerto Rican
Yeah,
dude. He came
that's
on,
him. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm,
yeah.
mm-hmm.
But he had to rock it back. I think they called Puerto Rico garbage. But I think we all have PTSD
Mm-hmm.
from that night when Trump ran against Hillary. Because I know there were several people. I know my wife at the time. Because election coverage lasts like all night because they got to wait
Yeah.
until the different states come in, and then
Mm-hmm.
they got John King on the wall and he's counting. Because I watch CNN's coverage. He's
Okay.
counting like, okay, so the East Coast comes in. Of course, it's the blue states up in like the in New England and New York or whatever, Jersey, Connecticut. Then it's all like the I hate black people states down south and in the Midwest and stuff. And then you got to wait for the Western states to come in. And I remember, my ex-wife, had went to sleep, and I kind of stayed up, and then we started seeing when those swing states were coming in. So when Trump was winning Wisconsin, Cass was like, "Oh, shit, I don't know now." Then he started winning. I think he won Ohio. He started winning
Yeah.
those swing states, and folks was like, and I remember her waking up, just like, yeah, Hillary won, right? And I said, "Oh, Trump did." So I
Mm.
think we all got PTSD from that because, and shout out to our frat brother Jarvis, it's called the Bradley effect. And what it is when people basically lie to the polls because they
Yeah.
don't want to be judged and considered racist or whatever type of judgment they're going to receive for how they vote. And we know how white women do. You know how I think white men are more unabashed about it, and they just like
Mm-hmm.
Trump. But I think white women know that they're voting against their interests, so they just stay silent and then just go and hit the button and then try to act like it never happened, but
Right.
it did. But
But it did. Yeah. Yeah.
but it did. I mean, I really just can't fathom I couldn't fathom it then.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't qualified then. Hillary was much more qualified than him. But now it's even worse. We saw how
But
he wasn't off. We saw the whole trick that we saw how he was in office, how terrible he was as a president.
yeah.
He's a convicted felon now,
Mm-hmm.
And we saw how this campaign has just been utter garbage. Shout out to Joe Biden. And I don't know, man, but I just don't trust it, bro. I'm being optimistic and
Yeah.
positive. And I'm saying, and we're gonna give our predictions, and we're gonna read off C and Enrique's predictions. But I'll start off with mine. I'm being positive. Words have power, and I see Kamala winning this. Vice President Kamala winning this, and I see her winning it comfortably. I hope I don't have to eat my words, but that's how I see it happening.
Man, man, you know I'm kind of in lockstep with you. Being relatively new to this state, and it is a major swing state, and just just seeing what's going on and talking to different people and understanding that some of these swing states, like a North Carolina, like a Georgia, and eventually Texas is going to be this way too. You have a lot of transplants, and a lot of them are skewing younger, more college educated, things like that, which typically are going to favor the Democrats.
Yeah.
So I think North Carolina is very much in play. I think Georgia is very much in play. Pennsylvania is very much in play. And if she wins two of those three, I think she can win all three. Yeah, I think it'll be a comfortable margin. No doubt she'll win the.
He's already scared, dog, because he's
Yeah,
talking about how like voter fraud in Pennsylvania because
yeah. He pulled out of the last weekend rally in Pennsylvania because I think he's like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and concede Pennsylvania.
yeah, because the early vote in Pennsylvania is already leaning towards Democrats.
Mhm.
So, and I don't think that that rally he had in Madison Square Garden, I don't think that's going to help him at all.
Yeah, and a lot of the folks that are moving to Georgias and North Carolinas and really even Florida, honestly, is people that are from the New York, New Jersey that you were talking about that are Democratic hubs. And, they're moving for weather and opportunity, things like that. So they're, at some point, it is going to be a little more balanced in these states. And I think she's going to win comfortably also. If not, then I'm not going to say I'm going to be upset. It's going to reinforce things that we think we already know. We're just, like you said, we're being optimistic. We're giving people the benefit of the doubt. But if he wins, then yeah, hey, this is America.
Man, if he wins, man, it's going to be tough, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough. I think there are certain people who will benefit from it. Obviously, um, you know, big business, the extremely wealthy, and obviously Trump, because
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
he's shown that he has no problems with using the office of the president as a way to grift
And
for
he can pardon himself too. So
himself, and he can pardon himself too, and he is not above it.
yeah,
Like we said, one thing,
above it. Day one, that's what he's doing. He's not waiting
one thing
until his
about
last
Trump,
day in office. Yeah,
what they about Trump, man, he gonna wield his power. Everybody
man.
else tried to be couth and
Mm-hmm.
like stay within the realm of stability. Trump has no, and he gonna be
Right.
a president too. Like, come
Yeah.
on, it's actually gonna be very terrible.
Right. Right.
It's actually gonna be very terrible for a lot of people.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So the Swifties, Taylor Swift, she endorsed Vice President Kamala. Beyonce, you saw that somebody made like a video of Trump. He said they had a little dance party with Beyonce.
Oh yeah, they've been remixing it,
Yeah, they
man.
remixed
Yeah.
it, and
Yeah.
Beyonce came out, and then as of today, as of this recording, LeBron reposted the Madison Square Garden pep rally, or rally, whatever you want to call it, and paraphrasing, he said vote for Kamala Harris. Now,
Right. Right.
5 days out,
After a lot of people have already voted. Yeah.
after a lot of people already voted, we talked about it offline, and I said, "There's no doubt that." Well, I mean, LeBron's what, damn near a billionaire,
But
so you can kind of see how he might benefit from the Trump policy, but his brand, there's no way.
yeah,
There's
that
no
was
way.
never in question for me. I
No way.
assumed he had already endorsed her at some
Yeah,
point.
there's
I
no
guess I
way.
didn't know.
Because like back in the day when it was it Obama or somebody, man, he was out with P. Diddy, you know what I'm saying, dancing on the stage and all kind of shit, he He remember, hey, Diddy was like vote or die.
Vote or die. That was a huge campaign, though, man. He did. He got people out to vote,
Hey,
honestly.
Diddy said vote or die. They might, hey, he might need to get Diddy an ankle monitor and get him
For
out there.
real. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. Yeah.
Get him out there. But LeBron, he endorsed Kamala today. Do you think these endorsements really matter? Because I don't see. I mean, we didn't have those endorsements when we were younger, and like first voting. Because like I said, we talked about. I think we talked about it on the show. I first voted for Clinton. I was 18. Had to be
Mhm.
18. I was 18 on the campus of the University of Missouri. Clinton was the first president that I voted for. So that was like 96, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, it had to be 96. So I might have been 19. I might have been 19.
Yeah.
So I don't think any endorsements from any celebrities. Of course, we didn't have the internet. We didn't have 24-hour
True.
news
Yeah.
news cycles back then. I really voted just because my parents, they
Mhm.
were traditionally Democratic, and watching the news, and the news was more balanced back then. And so I'm like, I'm not voting for Bush. Bush is linked to Reagan, and Reaganomics and how that affected the
Mhm.
community. Do you think these endorsements now are really swaying the young people to vote?
I wouldn't say LeBron James. I think the Swifty vote, because put it to you like this: the people that care about LeBron's endorsement, I would say 85 to 90% of them are already gonna vote for Kamala, right?
Right.
So the Swifties, I think that hit home because a lot of them are younger. This might be their first election, and like you said, a lot of parental influence on that when it's your first election, and their parents might be directly opposite.
Hmm.
So I think that makes more of a difference than LeBron, honestly. But
Makes sense. That makes sense.
yeah.
I like I said, man, I think LeBron had to do this.
Mhm.
Um, he's been called out in the past about not speaking out for
But,
certain
but
things.
but again, it's not to go on a tangent, but that's that double standard. People called out Mike one time, but still to this day, Mike has never endorsed anybody for real for
Well, it
you
was
know.
the thing about it was if you read the book, $40 Million Slave,
Mhm.
it was the question on whether he said the Republicans buy shoes too, right?
Mhm.
And I don't know if they really proved that he actually said that, but
Right. It's mhm.
what they did talk about, there was some sort of uh movement that was going on, I believe, on the campus of UNC, and
Mhm.
they wanted Mike to, put it on the line and say something in support of that agenda. He didn't do that because he wanted to
Yeah.
play neutral. He wanted to be, he didn't want to touch politics, which is his right. But
Yeah.
I think that we've talked about it plenty of times before in the Black community because of where we are at when it comes to wealth and our position politically in this country. We need those celebrities. We
Mhm.
expect those celebrities to speak out to help for the greater good of the community. So when Mike didn't do that, a lot of people latched onto that, and he's never been able to live that down.
Right. Right.
And LeBron, back when he was playing with the Cavaliers the first time, and Tamir Rice was murdered by
Yeah.
the police, he didn't say anything about that, and a lot of people called him out on that. Like, why didn't you speak out about this? Now he's done other things, when Eric Garner was murdered, and um,
Trayvon too, because he that was like his first year in Miami, I think.
yeah, Trayvon and different
Mhm.
things he spoke out. So you can't say that he hasn't used his influence politically for the Black community.
Yeah.
But I think this one right here, I'm with you. You probably should have did it a long time ago if he was going to
Yeah.
do
Exactly. Exactly.
it. You should have did it a long time ago, bro.
That's my thing, man. These how are you undecided 5 days out and in this election? How can you be undecided?
If you
Seriously,
undecided this far out, you just want attention.
man. Exactly, exactly.
You want to be
Especially
rude and all that. Yeah.
especially more than ever. Like I mean, especially this election more than ever. Some elections maybe it could be. I can understand. It's like, I don't know, but come on, man. Lines were drawn in the sand as soon as he said he was running, and I don't think people have crossed those lines seriously.
Honestly, they could have had the election like soon as she was confirmed as a Democratic candidate. We could have been got this over with.
Exactly,
We could have
exactly.
saved all these robo text messages.
Man, I got a small forest in my recycle bin. I'm getting mailers every single day from
Yeah,
NAACP, from Kamala, from I mean, just crazy, man.
that's because you live in a swing state.
Yeah,
I still get them, but I can just imagine what you get. Janine
man.
said young folks are in the influencer mindset, so I think Swift will get some folks to vote. I agree with you,
Mhm.
Janine. Thanks for watching the show.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching the show. So they definitely are on that influencer generation, that TikTok influencer generation, and I think that does carry some weight, man, especially with the Swifties because she I can't say for certain, but if she's not as big as Beyonce, she might be bigger. What you think?
Yeah, that is she's definitely bigger.
I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because my kids are grown and I missed
Yeah.
that generation of
Yeah.
music.
Now in our community, it's not even close. It's definitely B, right? But I'm thinking worldwide and that kind of thing. She's definitely larger than Beyonce. But
I couldn't even
uh
I couldn't even name a Taylor Swift song, dude.
okay. All right.
I couldn't.
I
You know
know
what Taylor
I know
song?
a few. I know a few, man.
I
So
couldn't. I
yeah.
couldn't even. If they said, "Man, we'll give you $5 million," I'd be like, "Damn, dog." Like,
Man. If they said that, I'm $5 million richer.
he said definitely bigger. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think Trump and his crew, man, they're definitely setting the table to make this a ugly situation. I think um, the Democrats, in anticipation of that, all this is going to be fought in the courts. They're going to be contesting the ballots, and
Already. Yeah.
they're going to do their best to try to drag this out. I think that it'll be clear. Like I said, it's going to be clear. I'm
Yeah.
hoping and I'm praying. If she wins, it's going to be a comfortable win in terms of the electoral college vote. If he wins, I think he's going to barely eke it out.
If he
There's no way he wins the popular
That's
vote.
what I say. If he wins, it'll be because of the electoral
Yeah,
map, which um
there's no way he wins. He's going to get smoked on the popular vote.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Which, at some point we're gonna have to address that. The way that, I was shocked to learn, and maybe you knew this because you lived there, that Nebraska is like they split their votes
Yeah.
from the electoral. I didn't know that until this cycle. I really
I
didn't
thought I
know.
said it on the show.
Oh, okay.
If you look back, uh,
Uh-huh.
and I think they kind of adjusted it though.
Uh-huh.
You look back when President Obama was first elected, and you
Mm-hmm.
look at the electoral college map, you'll see Nebraska, and you see all this red, and you'll see a speck of blue in the state. And that speck of blue is like North Omaha, where
Mm-hmm.
most of the black people live when they in Omaha, Nebraska. So yeah, definitely, the electoral, what do they call them? I forget what they called the people that make up the electoral college.
The electors?
They're electors, but it's something else that they're called.
Mhm.
But we'll say electors. I mean, I'm sure
Okay.
someone will correct us. But yeah, they can split it. So it's not just like winner take all for the state.
Yeah.
It comes to Nebraska.
And I think theirs goes by congressional district because that's how many electoral votes you get. Is how many, same as your representatives, right?
Don't give me the line, man. I don't
Oh,
know.
okay, okay.
I don't know. But I just know that one particular area of Omaha had an impact on making sure that they voted for President Obama.
Hmm.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be ugly, man. I think that that Trump's going to do his best to try to make he's going to try to say the election was stolen and the vote was rigged and all of this
It's
mess.
only rigged if he loses, though.
You ever
So
noticed it's only rigged when he's losing, right?
yeah,
There's
I'm gonna tell you what I actually thought, and I was like, maybe I'm overthinking this. Is that they have some sinister plot to where they're actually switching votes, and they're throwing it out there that it's going to happen the other way around, knowing the whole time they have a way to switch the votes and that they will win. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. We're gonna put the tinfoil hat on and say that.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm like I'm overthinking this, right? Because
Yeah.
you can't believe everything there. I part of me, people will accuse you of something that they do, that people say that all the time. Like in a relationship, they'd be like, if you're the one that's cheating, you'll accuse the other person of cheating,
Mhm. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so there's a bit of that in my mind that could be what's going on here too. So
Yeah, I mean they're not above it.
mhm. They
And
already blowing up ballot boxes, man. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, this is crazy, man.
yeah, yeah,
So if you're in the chat, let us know how you think it's going to turn out next Tuesday.
yeah.
Like I said,
What,
Rika C couldn't be
yeah,
on
what did
the
Rika
show.
say?
So Rika said her prediction is that the third party will have a greater impact than previous years. I just don't see that. I don't see that happening. I mean, it could be no more bigger impact than how Nader affected Gore, because that's how we got W,
Hmm.
because Nader's stealing those votes down in Florida. So I just don't see there being a bigger impact than what Nader did back to Gore back in the day. When he ran against George W. Bush, because that was another one where W lost the popular vote, but he won the
Yep.
electoral college, and that's when they had the whole hanging chads and the different ballots
Yeah.
and all that different
I
stuff.
think I think they haven't won a popular vote since only one popular vote since '88. Only one. That was the second time Bush ran in
He beat
'04.
he beat I can see his
Kerry.
Kerry. Yeah,
Yeah.
Kerry wasn't a good candidate.
No.
Kerry wasn't a good candidate, but they definitely lost to Obama, and then they lost to Hillary, and then Joe. Man, you think
Mm.
about it. I said it before, man. We got Joe to blame for Trump. Now, he lost his son. He said his heart wasn't in it. But if Joe had run when President Obama was leaving office, he would have beat Trump the first time.
That's what I heard. Obama asked him to step aside for Hillary, so Hillary could run. I didn't know he.
No, I thought it was more so, remember he had lost his,
No, I mean I understand what he said,
yeah, yeah.
but I heard that behind the scenes that he was like, "Hey, man, let's let her ride."
Then why would yeah, but I don't know about that, man, because then why would they let him run again the second time?
Because who else was going to run? I mean, you know,
That's true. That's true.
yeah,
But Rika said third party is going to have a big impact because she still believes that the Palestinian situation is going to be a major thing because neither party is addressing it, and I'm just going to say neither party is going to address that.
at
And
all, and
that's
neither
a
was a third party candidate.
right. That's a third rail that nobody
Yeah, yeah,
can touch because obviously there's really no win. There's no
right.
if you're pro-Israel, like Floyd Mayweather, Floyd Mayweather Jr. if you then it's gonna look bad.
He didn't know
So,
what he was reading, man.
bruh,
Yeah, he just saw the dollar figure.
why is this dude taking pictures with Netanyahu, man?
Why was Netanyahu inviting Floyd Mayweather? Now, like what? What?
I, I don't
What?
I don't get it, man.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't get it. And I mean, there's some black people before the violence started happening, the recent violence over there. There was this group that always tried to get African Americans to come over and to basically become, I'll say, indoctrinated, but basically, be introduced to the Israeli culture.
hmm
I know several people that have went and they target a certain demographic, the educated upper class African Americans, and they'll bring them over to Israel and they toured and they got to see the Dead Sea and all that stuff. And
yeah.
really, it was more so like, again, in my personal opinion, you being indoctrinated. I don't even know what the name of the program is, but I know several people that have done it. But um, that's what it reminded me of when Floyd was over there taking pictures with you know what I mean?
I know
I
people.
personally think Floyd got money. I think the
Hmm.
people that went with this program, they were just getting a free trip out of
Yeah, yeah,
you know
hmm
what I'm saying?
yeah.
So
I remember that too. I know some people that did that. I actually know somebody that
we probably
moved
know the same people that did it.
that lives over there. You know what I'm saying?
What?
A Black American that lives over there. Yeah. There's. I mean, I want.
Are they
There's a
like
faction of.
Black Hebrew Israelite or something like
Yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah. I believe so.
Yeah, them dudes are so annoying, bro. Them dudes
Yeah, yeah.
are so annoying. But so C says, C's our resident Republican. She said she believes Harris will win. She thinks the election, a number of people have crossed over on both sides, and mainly Republicans crossing over to vote for Democrat. And then she said Kamala receives a lot of criticism from Black men. The majority of the ones that are the most vocal don't vote anyway. And that's true.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's true. I think most of the guys that are like, oh man, bringing up her, her blackness, or bringing up, whatever her relationships were, when she was, before she got to be vice president and different things of that nature. I mean, none of that really matters, man. You don't bring up what Trump did. Trump, taking out ads against the Central Park Five. There's a different way for us to talk about them. They call them Central Park Five, but they
Exonerated five.
Exonerated Five, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And cheating on his wife,
all of them, yeah.
Sexual assault, convicted felon. I mean,
that's the whole thing, man.
It don't make any sense to bring up all of her quote unquote transgressions and you just want to ignore his. Like, get out of here, man.
Yeah, that's it's amazing, and I typically sometimes I side eye Van Jones a lot, right? But
I side eye Van Jones all the time. It's clear that he's bought and paid for, bro. It's clear that he's bought and paid for. Then you get up there crying and shit.
Yeah. But he did say, it's unfair. She, he gets to be lawless and she has to be flawless. Now that that's a catchy line, and it makes sense. Like she has to answer for, and again, she has to answer for everything that Biden's done, but he doesn't even have to answer for his own record. That's what you call the epitome of a double standard, man.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm ready for it to be over.
Yeah.
I think that I have been more disengaged with this election season than I have in the past, just because I'm older, and maybe because I was just like, bro, like there's nothing they can do to.
No, that's exactly why, because it doesn't matter. You're not voting for him.
I know what I think it's not only that, because I always knew who I was going to vote for back then. But I think that I've matured enough to know that I can only control the things that I can control.
Yeah, that too.
I hope we don't have a repeat from what white women did back when he won the first time.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be shocked either, man.
That's why I'm not losing any sleep over it.
Exactly. Now I will say this, and we've talked about it before. Hillary has the whole Clintons, they just have a whole there's just something about them that a lot of people just can't find comfort in. I mean, even Democrats. So
Bill had little sleeves to him.
Yeah. And then
Hillary, then it's the whole, what was it, what's the people that go when there's a calamity, a catastrophe somewhere? Oh my gosh, the Red Cross.
Red Cross. Okay, yeah.
Oh, Red Cross deal, and then it was her record win, as a Secretary of State.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that they could, like the shit that they doing against Kamala. Like it's clear they're reaching, right? But there was some stuff that they could actually like build on.
Yeah. What was they had the some kind of scandal in Arkansas. I can't think of what it was called, with some kind of financial deal that they had. They had something going on when he was in the office down there too.
Wasn't it? It was the white something.
Well, yeah, was it white? It wasn't Whitewater.
It might have been Whitewater.
It was white something. It was. I couldn't think of what.
Yeah, it was Whitewater. It was Whitewater controversy. Yeah.
It was something, man. When he was So they had a
it's real estate investments.
No, it was something. Yeah. So.
Nah, and that proves a double standard, right? Because had Barry had some stuff like that going on, it'd have been a wrap.
Hey, Barry couldn't even go to a church where a preacher said something, and it wasn't even racist. Barry, and at they rallies now, they just spewing racist nonsense. Like, that's crazy, man. Very good
point.
That's crazy.
Barry couldn't even wear a tan suit.
Man, what? Man, he couldn't even wear a tan suit, man. That's ridiculous, man.
Barry can't even wear a tan suit.
Man,
You know,
wow.
yeah, it's and that's why you just can't. America has shown what it is.
Mhm.
Like again, the fact that it's close as it is, it shines a light on how this country looks at um, Black people, other minorities, and it shows how the maintaining the status quo, white supremacy. Because
Yep.
really, that's what it's all about. There's no way that you can actually feel that this dude is articulate, intelligent, anything,
Anything.
anything at all. But they they recognize, hey, in order for us to maintain this way of life, in order for us to survive, because we can't compete, super mediocre.
Super
So
mediocre.
in order for us to thrive and to compete, we need somebody with their thumb on the scale.
Hmm.
The Supreme Court justice, in the seats that the Republicans stole with that, or Trump being in office, and then possibly, God forbid, a Republican, House and Senate as well. And honestly, man, I haven't really heard much about the different Senate seats and the House seats that are up for play on this one. This has really just been focused more so on
Yeah.
presidential election, man. I haven't really heard much about that. And I think Harris, man, she did really good when there's a lot of Black people was like, well, when Trump was in office, I got a stimulus check. $1,200. $1,200, you gonna sell your soul,
Now
right?
you bought and paid $1,200 bought and paid.
$1,200.
Man, please
And,
get
and
out
you
of
know,
here.
and you know, everybody got that $1,200, including me. I got it. Hey, I burned that shit real quick, dog.
Real quick. Hey,
Real
man.
quick.
Hey, that shoot, man. That you can't, man.
$1,200.
That ain't even a month of daycare nowadays.
You know what
Shoot.
I'm saying? And but she said that wasn't Trump that got you that money. That was Congress that did
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
That's
Hey, and by the way, Joe Biden gave you a stimulus too after 2020. So in
Biden.
2021.
Biden gave you
So
stimulus. Biden's canceled some student loans.
yeah, exactly.
You
Thank
know,
you, Joe.
right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But hey, look, I mean, I'll say it, man. Biden made it to where say, hey, listen, airline cancel your flight, they gotta get your money back. Ain't no
Yep.
credit.
Ain't no credits. Yep.
I'm
Ain't no
saying,
partial
listen,
refunds. Yep.
Biden did much more. I'll never say that President Obama didn't do anything. I
Yep.
think that he made some mistakes in not pushing the envelope further.
Hmm.
He let us down with that. But Biden and him using the influence and the power that comes from the executive cabinet, and Biden, whatever power that comes through those departments and whatever he could do legally, he's pushing that through. And he said,
Yeah. Hmm.
fight in the court. We'll fight in the court. And
Yeah.
I have to give him his props for that. Now he need to be quiet. He need to be quiet. He need to be quiet, man. He need to be quiet till they roll him out.
Yeah.
So they roll him out, and then they do the transition, the peaceful transition to power. Hopefully, he's giving it to
Yeah.
Vice President Kamala. But you need to be quiet, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, talking about but they guard. And what he said was true. He was like,
It's true.
they
And
guard.
that's another double standard. Why are you appalled that he said garbage
Yeah,
and the
in
guy
response
that's
to you calling people garbage.
come on, man. That's ridiculous, man. It's
Yeah,
yeah,
so I don't
insane.
know. So you saying it's gonna be Kamala
Yeah. Hmm.
comfortable?
Yeah, I think he'll be comfortable.
I mean, I sure hope we right, man.
Yeah.
Sure hope we right, bro. Because
Yeah.
I can't wait to hold her accountable for a lot of things that she said she's going to do, and another 4 years with Trump, man. I think that's just going to do the country dirty for a more.
It's already done a lot of harm.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, and it's even when you have people that were in his cabinet, saying he is not fit to be back in office.
Man, it, I just can't understand how anybody could. I mean, come on, man. It
You
boggles
know,
my mind.
before we go, I'm just gonna say it like this though: white supremacy makes no sense.
Yeah, yeah,
So there's no way that this will make sense to anybody.
Yeah.
No,
Anybody. Because
nowhere. No.
even them, even a lot of them now, like you said, his cabinet's like, come on, man, that's a bridge too far. This cat is a reckless.
Yeah.
He's unqualified. He's unhinged. He's everything. He's everything.
Do
So
you think? I think she's going to get Pennsylvania. I think that she'll get Michigan. I think she'll get Michigan.
yeah,
Um, Wisconsin, I don't know, but I think
yeah,
that one could go either way. Nevada and Arizona, he might pull those off. He might pull those off
yeah.
just because of the economy. I think he's gonna get North Carolina.
I do too. In Georgia too. Again, I think so, man.
You think
But
they're gonna get Georgia?
yeah, they got it last time, and I think that because of those fringe white, again, I'm being optimistic. Those fringe white middle class, upper middle class Republican white women can, if they go over more of them, even if it's a smaller percentage of them that go over and vote for her, than the opposite of, the quote unquote black men that go from the Democratic side to vote for Trump in Georgia. I think just because the sheer difference in the population size, they should be able to get it.
You know what was making me feel good when when the Democrats turned Georgia blue, when they was like, okay, look at this county right here. This is predominantly Republican. This is Republican. Then they was like, all right, the polls are closing. They said, well, we got Atlanta coming. And, they
Hey,
try to be politically correct. They're like predominantly African American.
right, exactly. Historically, or
Historically Democrat. They doing this.
historically
Hold on, here come
Democratic.
Atlanta. Here come Atlanta. We
Yeah,
need Atlanta
yeah,
to do it, man.
yeah.
We need Atlanta. We need Columbus. We need Savannah. We need everywhere where the blacks is at. Come on,
Macon, everywhere. Yeah.
everyone come out and vote. Turn that state back blue, man. But anyway, man, I think we talked about it enough. If you haven't voted yet, get out to vote, early vote. We've all voted. If you haven't, know your rights. There's plenty of information out there where you can know that, you can find out how to protect your right to vote, to make sure nobody intimidates you or scares you and not exercising your right to vote and have your voice heard. Make sure you are aware of what's going on in the local elections. We had a couple of referendums on the vote that was basically by some Trumpers that were put out there. And like every single city official has been putting out ads like, do not vote for these. Do not
Yeah.
vote for. We had like it went all the way up to, starts with A, B, C, goes all the way to STU in terms of
Wow.
alphabet. And the last three, the STU were the ones that are like those Trump based, like
Mhm.
let's clear the swamp, defund the government, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, people been like said, no, vote against that.
Probably purging voter rolls and all kind of stuff.
And just like, if the
Yeah.
government doesn't do XYZ, we can, void this, we can get this person out of office, all that stuff to be disruptive, and
Hmm.
put that on the ballot. And the other piece here in Dallas County, especially in the city, if you live in the city of Dallas, there's been a few other cities that have already done this, decriminalizing marijuana.
Okay.
So that's been on the ballot, and I definitely voted for that to decriminalize marijuana. That doesn't legalize it, but I think it's up to like maybe 4 ounces or something.
Yeah. Hmm.
It's decriminalized. They're trying to have the police this. Hey, listen, okay, whatever.
Right. It's not worth it. Yeah.
It's not worth it. And we know that marijuana that's something that's traditionally has been used to target African Americans. So and that might open the door to legalizing marijuana
Yeah.
here in Texas. I don't know with this being such a red state if that'll ever happen, but I'll be happy with the decriminalization of marijuana in this state.
Hey, Missouri's a deep red state, and it's legal there now. So
That's true. That's
yeah.
very true. That's very true. Where I mean, it's legal in a lot of places, man.
Yeah, it's legal a lot of places.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of places. I'm trying to think where else is red. Louisiana, it's met Oklahoma. Yeah, you gotta have a medical card, but yeah, you're right,
Hmm.
man. You're definitely right about that. But anyway, make sure you get out to vote and make sure you go to our website, www.manlistenshow.com. Listen to past episodes. Make sure you tell everybody about the show. Go to our social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Man Listen Show. And we'll catch you next time. Vote or die. Shout out to Diddy. Take that.
Yeah. Kamala.
Right.
Yeah.